Most people kind of just fall into their financial lives. They follow a script that someone else wrote for them. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could be the architect? What if you could intentionally design a life of financial freedom instead of just working in one? Well, that's the big idea we're diving into today: how to become the architect of your own wealth. So it really boils down to this one simple question. Right now, in your life, are you operating as a laborer who just gets paid for their effort? Or are you the architect designing the whole structure? And how you answer this, well, that's going to define your entire financial future. Let's break down exactly what that means. So on one side, you've got the laborer. Their model is super simple. They trade their time for money. They work hard building someone else's dream, and their focus is almost entirely on that next paycheck, that salary. But the architect, over on the right, is playing a whole different ballgame. They create assets. They design their own systems of wealth, and their entire focus is on ownership. It's this huge mental shift from just earning to actually owning. All right, so to make that shift happen, every architect has to first understand what their foundation is even built on. And it all starts with two assets, two irreplaceable assets that you and only you completely control. And here's the first one, and man, is it critical. It's your time. Think about it. You can always find ways to make more money, but you can never get back a single second once it's gone. An architect gets this deep down. They know time is the one thing they can't make more of, so they protect it like their life depends on it, because, well, it does. I mean, this number right here, it's the great equalizer, isn't it? Rich, poor, it doesn't matter. We all get the same 24 hours in a day. The real difference is that an architect invests those hours. They don't just spend them. So how do you make every single hour count for more? Well, that leads us right to your second asset. And here's your second true asset, your knowledge. See, while your time is totally finite, your ability to learn, that's infinite. This is your leverage, right? Knowledge is what lets you turn 1 hour of your time into something that might take somebody else 10 hours. For an architect, learning isn't something you did in school. It's a constant. It's just what you do. Okay, so we've got our foundation down, time and knowledge. Now we can start looking at the actual economic blueprint. This is all about seeing the economy not as some big scary thing with rules you have to follow, but as a system you can use to your advantage. First things first, we got to redefine what we're even aiming for. The goal isn't just a bigger paycheck. No, the goal is wealth. And wealth isn't your salary. It's what you own. It's the sum total of your assets. It's the stuff that keeps working for you even when you clock out for the day. Now, this next idea, it flips what most of us are taught completely upside down. See, we're taught that money is scarce, right? That you have to go out and fight for your little piece of the pie. But an architect knows money is abundant. It naturally flows toward value. So the whole question shifts from how can I get more money to how can I create more value? How can I impact more people's lives? So let's really hammer this point home, because the difference is everything. A salary, that's what you earn. It comes from your job, and when you stop working, it stops coming. But wealth, that's what you own. It's the output from the systems and the investments you build. One is active and temporary. The other is lasting, and here's the magic word, passive. Okay, awesome. We've talked mindset, we've talked about the economic principles, so how do you actually, build this thing? Let's get into the architect's actual blueprint for freedom. It really breaks down into a 3-step process. Step 1, you have to make a conscious decision to stop trading your time for money. That's a mental shift before it's anything else. Then, step 2, you start creating assets that can work for you around the clock. And finally, step 3, you link those assets together into systems that create passive income. And that's how you finally break the link between the hours you work and the money you make. So you're probably asking, okay, what are these assets exactly? Well, it's basically anything that can create value without you having to be there all the time. Think about it. Content you create once, right? Like an ebook or a YouTube video that just keeps earning money for years. Or simple automated businesses, maybe a print-on-demand store, or digital products. Or, of course, the classic investments that are just set up to compound over time. These are the engines you're building inside your wealth machine. All right, now here's a tool that kind of freaks most people out, but architects, they're not afraid to use it, and that's smart debt. See, most of us are taught all debt is bad. It's a burden, it's something to avoid at all costs, but an architect sees it as leverage. If you can borrow money to buy or build an asset that grows in value or makes more income than what the debt costs you, well, you've just built wealth using someone else's money. It's a total game changer. So, we've been through the mindset, the core principles, the whole blueprint. But there is one last, absolutely crucial piece of this entire structure, the thing that holds it all together. And this is it. This is the cornerstone of everything. Listen, nobody is coming to save you. There's no secret lottery ticket, no cavalry coming over the hill to rescue you financially. Your life, your plan, it's all your responsibility. The cards you were dealt, that's just your starting point. What matters is how you play them. You are the one in charge, period. And you know that dream you have, that big, maybe even unrealistic vision for your life, it is absolutely worth chasing. But part of being the architect is also being a realist. This isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to take money, it's going to take real consistent action, and it is going to require a whole lot of patience. So after all that, after we've laid it all out, who is this architect? Who has the power to design a life of real wealth and freedom? It's you. You've got the blueprint now. The only question left is, when are you going to break ground?